Good afternoon, everyone. I want you to see the soup that I just made in the Vitamix. I would have come on when I was making it, but I didn't think you would hear me because the Vitamix has a tendency to be loud anyway. So there you finally heard the whistle, Earlene. I want you to see that it does have steam coming out of the top of it. You can see it's got steam coming out of the top of it. It is very, very pretty. It should be maybe a little darker, but I used a lighter broth. And I didn't use water, I used a lighter broth, which has legumes and veggies in it. But I want you to watch me pour this into the, how pretty it is. Pour it into the, see, and that's got carrots in it too, but I'm not going to be able to get everything in here because it's quite a bit. But as you can see, it's really a pretty color to me. It's really pretty. Yes, and I will give you the ingredients because I found this by Googling it. I Googled it. Yes, it is lighter, but I don't think that really matters, you know, because you put tofu in it and you put ginger in it. I had a hard time trying to figure out, well, how in the world do you measure ginger? Earlene says, well, maybe chop it up and measure it that way. So that's what I did. Tofu itself doesn't have a taste, but they wanted it in the soup, so it doesn't have, hi, good to see you. Tofu itself doesn't have any taste at all, but when it's mixed with other things, it has a good flavor. You know, you by itself, like we said, tofu scramble. If you were just fix tofu scramble with just the tofu, you wouldn't have a taste to it at all. But with it, you know, putting other things in it, then you have a flavor to it. I know this is actually a little lighter. It's like a light orange, but I think it's kind of pretty. But I will tell you what I did put in it so that you know. I'm going to push this back a little bit. First of all, I took 4 carrots and I chopped them up. They were not real big carrots, but I took 4 carrots and chopped them up. And I got a small food chopper, so I chopped them up in there. And a quarter of a small onion. I had a pretty good sized onion, so what I did is I just cut it down quite a bit to my eighths or something, and then I used 1/8 of it. And I had 4 garlic cloves peeled. I went and chopped them up as well. You have to chop the onion, the garlic, and the carrot up and saute it in the skillet in oil. And I put a little bit of broth in it to help it along. Oh, sure, I'll show it to you, Earlene. Now this is without the lid on it, or without the bowl. Because the bowl, I'm drying it off, but the bowl goes in here, and there's the blade. There's the blade. And in fact, I can just put this on here to show you what the chopper looks like. This has to be locked down. Put this on here, and you have to turn it like that to lock it down. Then you put the blade on it. And then you have your lid. And that's all there is to it. Oh, doesn't it though? And then you just put your lid on, line it up, and then lock it up. Now it's locked. And it's just got a high and low button. And this is just a small chopper. It wasn't very much money, but you know something? It made those carrots so fine that it didn't take very long to saute them in the skillet. Oh, just like your little one? It probably is. This is an Ulster, and I think the little one I showed you is a different brand. But I like it. I'd rather use that than my food chopper or my food processor. Hi, Benita. Good to see you. This is my soup that I just made. And I'm going to tell you what I had in it. Like I said, it takes four carrots. You have to peel them. You have to cut them. And then chop them up. A fourth of a small onion. I had a big onion, so I went and put part of that in there. What I did is I had a big onion and I cut it up about 1/8 or so and added a real small sliver of it. Put it in in this food chopper because I chopped the garlic in here too. And then it takes 4 garlic cloves peeled. You have to, and I chop, like I said, chop the carrots up, you chop the onions up, you chop the garlic up. Put them in the pan, saute it with coconut oil, and then I added some broth as it started drying out. I wanted to add some broth because it said to do that. And I had to saute it until the carrots were very tender. But it didn't take very long because the carrots were chopped so fine that it was just no time. I just tasted a little bit before I took it out of the skillet to make sure that it was tender. It was tender. So I put it in the blender, and then I added a half a teaspoon of salt, which I use sea salt. 1 tablespoon of fresh ginger root. I just cut up a little bit off of a little bit of ginger root and put that in here too, and chopped it up, and then measured it out. I actually chopped a little bit more than needed, but I put it in a little baggie with the big root. And if anybody doesn't know what ginger root looks like, I'll show you. This is the ginger root. Now this is what I chopped up extra, but this is the ginger root. You don't use much of it because it is very, very potent. So when it said a tablespoon, I wanted to make sure I didn't put any more than that in there, because it's quite strong. And then it called for 1/3 of a cup of light silken tofu. It's packaged quite a bit differently than your regular firm and extra firm. And you could spoon it right out. So it took me a little time to get the package open. And then I spooned out what I needed, 1/3 of a cup. And I put the rest into a glass container into the refrigerator. And then I put 2 cups of broth. The 2 cups of broth is went at the very bottom. And that's basically all that it takes to make this soup. It's actually very, very easy. I haven't tasted it yet, and I think I'm going to get a spoon and I'll taste it just to let you know what it tastes like. Just a minute. I like that. I really do. I really do. It's different because it got tofu in it and ginger in it and carrot. And people like, people like those combination together. I've never seen that combination before. And sure you can. If I can answer it, I certainly will. Go ahead. Doesn't it? Oh, it tastes good too. It's not real hot, but that's okay. It's hot enough for me to eat. It's not cold, but it's warm enough that I don't have to blow on it or anything. Doesn't it though? It looks really good. And it's very easy to make. In fact, I better not eat too much of it because I want to take a picture for Facebook and put it on Facebook. No, I don't take any vitamins at all. I used to, but I don't. Since I'm on a plant-based diet, I get my vitamins from the plants and the vegetables, from your fruits and vegetables. Oh, you would like it. It's very, very good. And I bought silken tofu, I think, not too awful long ago, maybe a week or so ago, and I thought, well, I'm wondering if I'll need this silken tofu for anything. So when I saw this recipe on Google, because I was Googling recipes yesterday for carrot ginger soup, and I happened to see this, and I thought, well, hey, this is interesting, and I have the silken tofu, don't have to worry about it, because like I said, it's packaged a lot differently than your regular tofu. It's in a smaller container, and you just take what you need and, put the rest of it in a... But it's good, and I know I'm going to like it. I'm going to put crackers in this later to eat it, but I want to leave it like this now so people can see what it looks like and put it up on Facebook. I just wanted you to see that you can make a soup yourself and have it taste good. Good afternoon, Cheryl. There is my carrot ginger tofu soup. It's a little bit lighter because I used tofu and ginger. The ginger will lighten it up, but I also used a lighter broth, which is like a legume. I'll show you exactly which one. The one I've opened is in the refrigerator, but this is the one. This is organic. This is the broth that I used. And it's a vegan protein broth. It's going to make it a lot different, but it's going to make it better. Actually make it better. I've been buying this at Walmart, so if you want to find it, you can find it at Walmart. So I'd rather use that than water into my recipes. Oh, you use that too? Oh, okay, good, Erlene. It makes it taste a lot better. It's a little bit more pricey than your regular vegetable broth, but I like it. So I picked up a couple more today. Hi, good to see you. Welcome. So I picked up a couple more because I use a lot of broth. I would rather put broth in my soups than water. When they call for like 2 cups of water or a cup of water, I use broth instead because I think it flavors it up a lot better. Especially this broth really makes it taste good. And you know something? This soup, I know what's in it. I made it my own, put in it what it called for, and it's going to actually, if you see the picture, this is what it looks like. Here's the picture of it that I took off of Google. And isn't that pretty? It's about the same color mine is anyway. It's very, very pretty. Now, if you don't have a Vitamix, if you have a high-powered blender, I suppose that would work. Any kind of blender that makes soup, that you can make soup out of, because if it doesn't heat your soup up, you're going to have to heat it up afterwards anyway. Blend it and then heat it up on the skillet, on the stove anyway. That's what I had to do with the KitchenAid. Well, this I don't have to do this because it heats it up and makes it hot for me. Because the blades go around so fast, they cause friction, and that friction heats up the food. And I swore by these Vitamixes. I said I wasn't going to get another Vitamix again, but I missed my other one so much that I went back to it again because I missed making hot soup. So that's why, hi Rhonda, good to see you. So that's why I went back to it. And this one works beautifully, absolutely beautifully. So that's basically all there is to making the soup. Yeah, I know, we both did. We really did, but I'm loving this because I make smoothies every day and I use it every day. Yeah, you may, I didn't make it on scope because the Vitamix is really loud, but I did show you what it looks like. I poured it in here. I gave you and this is what it looks like in a bowl. I took it off of Google, and I can give you the ingredients. And it calls for carrots, 4 carrots, 1/4 of a cup of small onion. I had a great big onion, so I cut that up a little into different sizes and put it in a plastic bag back in the refrigerator. And 4 garlic cloves peeled. You got to make sure you take the peeling off. So I know some recipes, they don't take the peeling off when they use the Vitamix. I've watched demonstrations. I thought, well, why would you want to eat the peeling? I guess it don't harm you, but I usually take it off. And I figured, might as well take a little time and take it off. And then 2 tablespoons of oil, which I used to saute my carrots and garlic and onion. I used a little oil. And I used to put a little broth in there too, so in case it started sticking. And then it takes a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, which I use sea salt, a tablespoon of fresh ginger root, which I wasn't sure how to do it, and Erlene says, well, just chop it up. Just cut a piece off, chop it up, and then measure it out. So that's what I did. I put it in this little chopper here and chopped it up. And then it takes 1/3 of a cup of light silken tofu, and then 2 cups of the broth. And that's all it takes to make the soup. I'm going to post this up on Facebook into the group. I'm going to post this up on Instagram. So anybody follow me on Facebook or that are in the group and want to make it themselves will be able to make it, because I will have the picture there. I will have the ingredients there. And I'll tell you how it's made. It's very easy to make, simple. And this is a recipe that I'm going to make again. I like the taste of it just by tasting it with my spoon. I like it, and I'm going to make it again. I did buy a sweet potato today. Now my daughter says, "Mom, what are you doing that for? You don't care for sweet potatoes." But anyway, there's a soup. You got to follow. Oh, okay, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Karen Watterson 1948 is what it is on Instagram. But anyway, I bought a sweet potato, and I told my daughter I was going to buy a sweet potato to make some sweet potato soup. She says, "But Mom, you don't care for sweet potatoes." I says, "Well, how bad can it be in sweet potato soup?" Now, the recipe calls for 2 small sweet potatoes. And if you've ever seen how big sweet potatoes are, they're humongous. And I thought, well, I'll just use 1 great big one for 2 small ones. Because, I mean, it's enormous. It is really a big sweet potato. I'll show you how big it is. And they even had some bigger than this. I figured this would be good enough. I mean, this can place 2 small sweet potatoes into the soup, because I found the soup in my Vitamix book, in this book right here that I took along. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I turned 70 in January. It's hard to believe, isn't it? Yep. Hi, good to see you. Yeah, I took this book along, so if I wanted to make another soup for the sweet potato soup, I said, well, there's got to be sweet potato soup in here. So I got the ingredients off of it. Oh, well, thank you. I wish I were in my 50s, but we get older by the minute, it's by God's grace that He's allowed me to live as long as He has. But thank you for the compliment. That's absolutely beautiful. It's really wonderful. I had somebody comment the other day, on my YouTube, and I was telling Earlene about it, my YouTube video, and she had such a derogatory comment, I had to remove it because this was a Periscope that I had done the day after I had been featured for the very first time. And she watched that thing, and she said, that video, and she said she got a headache watching it. She says, this woman has got to be drunk, and repeating herself and saying hi to everybody coming in and stuff like that. And I didn't even respond back to her. I just deleted it. She says, she said right in her comment, go ahead and block me because I'm not coming back anyway. I thought, well, I don't need you to come back. You know, it's sad when people are so miserable. You know, she says, well, I'm not miserable. I'm a realist. You know, people have a tendency to be miserable and say as many bad things to somebody as, oh, well, you know, I wasn't going to argue with her. It is terrible, but you know, I wasn't going to say anything back to her, but just delete it because that comment that she made to me was not worth any response whatsoever. I figured, why say anything back to her? Just remove it and let it go. And that's what I did, you know. She won't come back on my YouTube videos, and maybe that's a good thing. I don't need somebody like that on there. But you're going to get those people. When I get compliments, I thank you for them. When people say that I'm old and I'm ugly, like somebody yesterday when I was on Leslie's Scope said, you're ugly. Well, he got blocked immediately. You know, that's uncalled for when people do that, but that's what they do, you know. Yes, it was. It was. Irrespective of whether I would have been or not, which I'm not, you know, but for her to assume that I was drunk was wrong out of her, you know. Yes, they are. They are so filled with darkness, and the problem of it is, I believe that she was so, oh, thank you so much. You know, I believe that about everybody, that God made everybody beautiful. We're all beautiful in our own way. You know, we should be beautiful on the inside as well as the outside. But, you know, the world is like that. You're going to have people in it that are going to say things like that. There isn't much we can do about it, but just to dust our feet off, you know, and wipe our feet off from the dirt and just move on. Well, it's sitting right here. It's a soup. I will give you the ingredients. I did post it up on Facebook if you're following me on Facebook. I did not scope it with it in the Vitamix because the Vitamix is loud enough that you couldn't. It's not as loud as the other one was, but it's loud enough that you couldn't hear me anyway. Yes, she must be a very unhappy person. That's what I'm saying. She was miserable, unhappy, so she wanted to make me unhappy too. And I read her comment and I thought, well, you know, that's cruel, but I'm not going to say anything to her. Yeah, Vitamixes are loud. They are very loud. And I didn't want to run it while I was periscoping because you couldn't hear me anyway. But this is a brand new one, so it isn't as loud as the other one got. And I think there was a problem with the motor. One time when I made ice cream, I think I may have been on my part now. Because when they say when you use the tamper, you're not supposed to hang on to the handle. You're supposed to hold on to the bottom of the canister or the top or the lid when you're using a tamper. Well, I inadvertently held on to the handle one day, and I might have done it. I don't know, but oh, you did? I saw a YouTube video this morning that I was watching. A guy that he had the new 750. And that thing wasn't doing anything. He had sent it in to be fixed. They knew the problem on it because the blades weren't turning for some reason or another. But he was trying to make a smoothie, but he had all frozen ingredients and no liquid. People kept telling him, you can't make a smoothie without liquid. They always encourage you to put, even for ice cream, you got to have liquid in the bottom of your container. Liquid goes first. You put the soft ingredients in, like I did a smoothie this morning. You put your liquid in, then your soft ingredients like grapes. I put chia seeds in it, banana or whatever. Then I put some spinach on top of that. Then I put an apple in it and some frozen foods, and it made a beautiful, beautiful smoothie. If you do it right, if you load it right, it's going to run for a long, long time. But people don't know how to use it sometimes. It's a little bit of trial and error at first. I haven't made ice cream in it yet, but I will start as soon as it gets warmer outside. Oh, it is. It's got carrots in it. It's got ginger in it. It's got even tofu. It's a little bit of silken tofu in this soup. It's got your salt. I'll give you the ingredients. First of all, I had to saute. Yes, it is. It is. It's very much so. Because I got it through QVC. So therefore, I put it on payments, And it's only about $71 or something a month, so that's not bad at all. Oh yeah, when I was watching the demonstration on the Vitamix, they said you really shouldn't put your hand on the handle when you're using the tamper, for the simple fact it kind of shakes it back and forth, and you kind of put strain on the drive shaft so you hold it. Okay, I take it out. You hold it down here, or you hold it up here where the lid's at, not on the handle. I made a mistake, so either hold it down here. Now, last time I used the tamper, I held it up with the lid. I just put this lid here, just put it on, make sure it's on tight, and then I just held it up here like this, and of course you have to take this off, and I just held it here like this and then tamped with it, because I'm right-handed. But they say you really shouldn't be holding on to the handle because it puts a strain on the drive shaft. So I'm assuming that they probably were telling the truth on that one. So it's real easy to make a mistake. But like I said, I haven't made ice cream in here yet. As it gets warmer, starts warming up. Good afternoon, Teresa. Good to see you. As it starts warming up, I will make ice cream. But for right now, I enjoy making soup. And I might make soup even in the summertime. Because you know what? I know what's in it. I don't have to guess at the ingredients. You start buying soup out of the store. Look at the ingredients on those cans. See what you find. You'll find ingredients in there that you can't even pronounce. It's all processed foods. As even Leslie says that processed foods aren't good for you. Good afternoon. Good welcome. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You shouldn't do that. No, you don't want to just use the tamper, and they say when you use the tamper, do not go in the middle. You kind of run it around the sides. They say to put it on the sides, but not today. I didn't see it today. I didn't go in there today. I'll have to watch the replay because I was gone at Walmart getting some things that I needed when she came on, and I didn't want to watch it when I was there. So I could watch it when I got home, but when I got home, I started getting ready to make this soup, she's with Go-To Kitchens. She's also does cooking scopes. She does them Tuesday through Thursday right now. She took Fridays off. She was cooking on Fridays, but she decided not to do that anymore because she's going to be a nutritionist, and she's writing a cookbook. So she wants to take time for herself. So Friday she doesn't do anything. Saturday she's got the Fork It Over radio, and then Sunday she's not on. Monday she's not on. So only Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I guess she just talked today anyway. She didn't do any cooking today at all. It's a go-to, the number 2. number 2 kitchens.com. So, it was about sugar. Her scope today was about sugar and cancer. Okay. Yeah, sugar. Sugar loves cancer. I'll tell you that. It loves cancer, And I must admit that I'll eat some sugar. But, whenever I make anything and it calls, is this vegan? Yes, it is vegan. It's because it has everything in it that are good for you. Ginger, tofu, carrots, broth, a little bit of salt, It has everything in it that are good for you. I wouldn't put anything in it that's not good for you, because the stuff you buy in the stores, it's got all kinds of chemicals in it. You can't pronounce half those chemicals because they're so bad for you. They've got a lot of chemical ingredients, and the chemicals are so darn long. I mean, the length of them is about like that, and you can't pronounce them. Oh, good. That is absolutely wonderful. So did I. No. Leslie is not vegan. She's about 95% plant-based. She will eat eggs. She does eat some meat. However, she doesn't eat all that much. She has admitted that because she goes to Vital Farms. She gets Vital Farm eggs, so she does eat eggs. The other day, I was watching her Periscope, and she made shrimp tacos. Well, I wasn't too enthused about that, but I watched it anyway to see how she did it. But she claims to be, she's a wonderful person, but there's a lot of information that she's not sure, that she doesn't know anything about. A lot of people don't know a lot about anything, pretty much anymore. And she admits that she's not vegan, but, you're welcome. And my daughter says she couldn't picture herself becoming vegan. But now, speaking about my daughter, we were talking the other day, which we do every day, and her best friend had and followed her. She follows her best friend on Facebook. Her best friend follows her, and she posted something about some of the foods that have chemicals in them. So we were talking, and she says, "I'm wondering what's in my food," because Melissa had posted stuff about. And I says, "Well, I'm glad Melissa did that because there are chemicals in your food." So she started looking at the food, and she says, "I can't eat this stuff anymore." And I says, "Well, you should become vegan." She's, "But Mom, I can't picture myself being vegan." I said, "But you'll be healthier." Oh, good. But so she realizes that she's been eating unhealthy this whole time, and she knows she's not start. Hi, Kevin. Good to see you. Welcome. Look at my ginger, my carrot ginger tofu soup. You want to become vegan? Well, stop. Getting rid of meat is a start. When I'm plant based, I went cold turkey because I stopped with meat, but then I was still eating eggs and I was still eating cheese, and it is, Kevin. I've already tasted a little bit of it, and I was still eating a little bit of cheese, and I was eating eggs, and I really wasn't drinking milk because I haven't been drinking milk in a long time. But then I finally went off of the cheese. I eat vegan cheese now, whether it's chow cheese or the Daiya cheese. I don't eat the regular American cheese you get in the store, the cheddar cheese. I don't eat that. I don't drink milk because that's for calves. If you hear Forerunner talk, he says milk is for calves. It's not for human beings. So I don't drink milk. Welcome to Periscope for the very first time. So I don't drink milk. I put vanilla almond milk in my cereal, but any of my recipes that call for milk, I put the unsweetened almond milk in it. So I've got a lot of that almond milk sitting around. Oh yes, the chow cheese is really good. It tastes like real cheese. I'm glad you found it. Yeah, Walmart has. Hi, good to see you. Welcome. Walmart has it. It is quite expensive though, but I do have it and I use it very, very sparingly. Now like I said, I like the Daiya cheese. Cashew milk. I think I don't know if I've ever made it or not. I make almond milk, but I've never really made cashew milk. So I'm hoping that I'm going to make that someday. Yeah, it is pricey, and well, I do have a Facebook page that is called Karen's Vegan Heaven. So if you're on Facebook and you want to be part of that group, I think there's 168 of us in there now. And basically what that group is for is to make recipes like this and post them up there, the recipe with the picture. And, oh yeah, I suppose it would be. Oh yeah, the almond milk, yeah, I think it would be. Well, it's not too bad. I keep it on hand. I get the bigger containers and the unsweetened almond milk. Yes, Karen's Vegan Heaven. You're exactly right. That's exactly right. Okay, you can't get it too. Okay, you got to type in heaven. Heaven is capitalized, but okay, heaven is capitalized. So I find it real easily. What is the best almond milk? Well, I use Almond Breeze. In fact, I'll show you what I have. This is what I buy, the Almond Breeze, and it doesn't have to be refrigerated until it's open. Now, this is brand new. It has not been opened. And once it's open, then you keep it in the refrigerator. And I use it all the time, so it doesn't go bad on me. Yes, it's Karen's, Karen apostrophe S, Karen's Vegan Heaven. I believe that's it. I'm not on Facebook right now. I can't type. I believe so. I think so. Yes, Almond Breeze is good. We have to be so careful but I like this Almond Breeze. I use this all the time. And I figured, when it calls for almond milk, and I do use this same almond milk in my smoothies. I do not put the sweetened one in there. I figure I don't need sweetened one. So I put about a cup of almond milk, just enough to cover the blades. And then I put my banana in there, my grapes, my chia seeds, which are really good. Then my spinach. And then I put the frozen up on top. Okay. Oh, you're Sherry. Okay. Okay. You found it. Good. Well, if you want to join, just ask to join. And when I go on Facebook, I will approve you because I've been approving everybody. Basically, like I said, you find a recipe that you enjoy making or have made before or making now, post the recipe up there with a picture so everybody can so we can share it with each other. Oh, yes, it is. And that's what I do. That's why I do. I take this and I'll put it up on my Facebook group. I've got and I got my own page. I put it on there and I put it up on Instagram. And I belong to Vegans with Love, I believe is another one. I belong to that group, so I post in there too. Wow. No, I didn't realize that. I guess almond milk is a lot better for me than I thought. I'd like to make my own almond milk, and I do periodically. However, almonds are very pricey, so I try to avoid it as much as possible. I mean, I do need to use some almonds up, so I might just start making almond milk again because it is pricey. But I find this is just as well. If they're going to sell almond milk in the store and it's already made up, why make it? Because I like this. And I use it all the time. I mean, this gets used daily in my recipes. Oh, good. Good. I'm glad you did. Wonderful. Oh, yeah. I don't blame you, Earlene, because almonds are very expensive. Now, there's a store that I go to that they sell the almonds, the cashews, sunflower seeds, your nuts and grains and stuff like that. They sell them in bulk, but they can be quite spendy. I think they're about $7, $8 a pound or something like that. Oh, it's breaking up. I'm sorry. It's not on my end. But I'm going to try to avoid buying them as much as possible because they're just so expensive. And if I can buy almond milk like I do, you couldn't find it on Facebook either? Well, it's there. Just have to put Karen's Vegan Heaven. You have to put the apostrophe in Karen's. Oh, it's fine on your end? Good, good. I'm glad. But if you want to be approved, just go in there and say that you want to be approved, and I'll approve you. You found Karen's Vegan Kitchen, but it's Karen's Vegan Heaven. And like I said, heaven is capitalized. That's basically. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let me go run and get my iPad, and I'll look for it on my iPad, and I can tell you how it really is. Just a minute. As soon as I find it on here, then I can let you know exactly. Okay, there's a couple of them want to join right now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to approve you right here on my iPad. Okay. Yes, it is. It's Karen apostrophe S vegan VEGAN and heaven capital HEAVEN. That's exactly how it is. So if you look for it that way. Okay, good, good. I just approved who Sherry and somebody else that asked to be in the group. So I usually approve everybody. And like I said, if you find a recipe that you like, yeah, okay, that's what you did. You still couldn't find it. Well, just keep. No, yeah, the V is not capitalized, Earlene, but that heaven is. It's capital KAREN apostrophe S, vegan VEGAN, heaven capital HEAVEN. And I was given this information. I was given that name by one of my friends on Facebook, or actually on Periscope. She's on my Facebook as well, and she called me and said that I should have the name Karen's Vegan Heaven. So she's the one that did it. Yeah, and you got to separate it out too. I got another one that asked to join, so I'll approve you there. If you can see, let me see. I will show you on the iPad. If you can see it right there, if you can see how it is up there, if it's not too much glare, you can see how it is, how it is spelled. Karen apostrophe S, V-E-A-G-E-N. You got to separate them out. And then heaven, I capitalized it. Because I thought I had to do it with God, I would capitalize it. So that's basically, that's all there is to it. So I hope and find who's ever trying to find it will find it. Because I'm approving people all the time. I want to build my Facebook group up. And feel free to post a recipe. That's what we're in there for, to post recipes, put the amount of ingredients down. Some will post a recipe but won't put the ingredients in there. You know, won't tell you how they made it. You need to post the recipe so I know how you made it. Everybody else knows how you make it, and with a picture. So if somebody wants to make it, they can do it themselves, because that's what we're there for. That's why I started it, because there are a lot of vegans out there, and they want a place to go to be able to share recipes, and you can do it on my vegan, Karen's Vegan Heaven. That's why I have it there. Now I did delete a couple weeks ago. I did delete a video that came into my group that was not a recipe, and I delete. Hi, good to see you. Oh, you still couldn't find it? Oh my goodness, Rhonda, I'm sorry. Did you capitalize Karen's am I following you on Facebook? Am I following you on okay, if I'm following you on Facebook, or if I'm not, oh, well, just, okay, go to Karen Watterson on Facebook and find me there. Ask to, be my friend, and you might be able to find it that way. I don't know, but we'll see. I want to put everybody into that group that wants to be there. I don't want to deny anybody the right to be there, but that's exactly how you get into the group. I showed you, and it's simple. I'm getting probably 172, 173 in there right now. It's getting more and more, and never be like Alexis's. She has her pampered chef. She has quite a few people, but oh, good. I'm glad, Oh, Rhonda. Okay, all right. Rhonda Elman-Bay. Okay, all right. Good. The more the people we get in there, the nice group we're going to have, because we all learn to share with each other. That's what we're doing. We're sharing our recipes. We're sharing our knowledge with other people, because there are a lot of people out there that want vegan recipes, because they don't want this half vegan and half not. They want vegan recipes. So that's what I'm posting, vegan recipes. There's no eggs in it. There's no milk in it. There's no actual real cheese. It's it's like I made the broccoli cheddar cheese the other day. I made it with Daya shredded cheese. And if you don't know what that is, let me show you. This is the package I got at Fred Meyer's. It's Kroger's, but it has shredded cheese in it. I've opened up the package because I used some of it, and I'll show you the shredded cheese. It is very good. It tastes very good, and it's real good in soup. Absolutely very good. Did I not open this? Maybe I didn't. Anyway, this is what the package looks like, and the cheese tastes just like almost like real cheese. The American. Oh, here I'm getting it open. Just what you might know. I want to make sure it doesn't get in my soup. But there, see what it looks like? See, that's this is the Daya cheese. Look at that. I'll put my hand there. See, that's what it looks like. That's very good, and it tastes just like the American cheese or the cheddar cheese the real cheese you buy in the store. I swear by this. So I get this at Kroger's, and they also have the American. Yeah, it is along with the chow cheese. But I figured I was making that broccoli cheese soup, and it called for shredded cheese. Well, I wasn't going to get the actual cheddar, so I bought this, and it works brilliantly. And I even garnished it with it, and it looked absolutely delicious, and it tasted good as well, too. So if you want to see this, you can take a screenshot of it. This is how you spell it, D-A-I-Y-A. It's a very good cheese. So anyway, I'm going to have to go pretty quick because I got to get this eaten before it gets cold on me. But I thank you all for coming on, the live viewers as well as the replay viewers, and I hope that you'll be able to make this. Once I share it on Facebook, I'm going to do this right after I eat it. I'm going to get it up on Facebook, and so you can see the recipe, take a picture of it, and I hope you all have a great and marvelous day. And until we meet again, God bless and bye-bye.